It is week 9, and we still do not have jobs, and we're back.
Back at it.
I don't know really what you guys have missed. How long? It's been 2 weeks since we uploaded last podcast. I know we've been traveling way too much, but we've been everywhere. I don't want to go into crazy detail. Whatever. We went to LA, then we went to Boston. Now we're back in Florida.
So we did one when we got back from LA.
Yeah. We went to LA, then we went to Boston. We just got back from Boston 2 days ago, and our house is almost done. So that's super exciting. Like we're kind of moving into this new phase of our life. Dude, this is one of the last podcasts. Well, we'll have probably a few more, but one of the last podcasts where we are in here.
Yeah. We are moving into a friend's house for a couple weeks.
We're going to be homeless for a few weeks, dude. There's some... Yeah. Explain.
Well, I just don't know how we're going to do a podcast when we're at
That's what I'm saying.
We're
going to have to stock up on podcasts before, episodes before we go.
Got it, yeah.
A few weeks of podcasts because, we're screwed, basically.
Yeah. Basically, we're going to be homeless. We already extended our rent here, or lease, whatever you want to call it, at our apartment as long as we can before they already rented out to other people. So,
We're homeless.
We're homeless. We got nowhere to go because our dang house ain't ready yet.
Which is,
if you're listening, please finish our house.
Yeah, they're totally
I'm begging
listening.
you. You don't know who's listening.
I have no idea who's listening. It's whatever, dude. I don't really care. I'm just ready to be done, and I'm ready to get into our house in our own space, whatever.
I care because I feel like we bought our house literally forever ago, and we're still here.
But that's the thing. We're building a house. It's different. That's why a lot of people don't build houses, is because it's like...
It's not for the weak.
It's what?
It's not for the weak.
Well, yeah, it's just... You're literally living on... I don't even know, dude. False promises.
Yeah.
It's... The house will be done here and then, and it's just... It never happens. But anyway, yeah, dude, it's... We're exhausted. We're tired, dude. Too many flights. But
I have been living in the airport recently, and like, it's fun and all, but
But that's the cool part about traveling is like
I don't want to be in an airport for 5 more months.
I don't either. I'm ready to take a big chill pill, but that's the excitement of like traveling, and I think I got Kayla.
But that's what you've always wanted, and now you like complaining.
Kayla, we've been on 3 different trips this month. That's not exactly what I wanted. Was I against it? No. Yet that's not what I had in mind.
Oh.
I was thinking maybe a few trips like every few months, you know what I mean? Something, whatever. But anyway, let's not waste too much time.
But yeah, that's our recap. So now we're packing up our little life and putting it in a storage unit, and we're going to be homeless for a little while.
So yeah. Wish us luck.
Oh, and we got tattoos.
Yeah, we did get tattoos. I'm gonna put that in the vlog. Y'all will be able to see that. But yeah, dude.
But anyways,
it feels so weird because we haven't done a podcast in a minute, and this just feels so chill. I don't know how to describe it, but anyway, I wanted to touch on. We were trying to think of podcast ideas, like what can we really go in depth and talk about, and forgive me if I'm a little off my rocker today. I haven't had to think on my toes in a minute and do a podcast, so I'm like off of it. But I figured it'd be like a cool one for people to listen to, like how to keep the love going in relationships. Like people fall out of love, and you like hear that term a lot. I feel like, bro, it doesn't matter how old you are. You've been in a relationship where it's like at one point I feel like someone was, one person in the relationship was like, I think I fell out of love. I don't love you anymore, blah, blah, blah. I feel like that's a very, very, very common thing in relationships.
Yeah.
Especially in our generation.
Yeah.
I feel like
there's a lot of distractions in our society. What's it called? Generation. I said society.
Society.
Same thing, yeah.
What do you mean by distractions?
I mean, like, social media is big. Like, you can just get caught up in, doing whatever on your phone, not paying attention to your partner. I feel like it all stems from social media.
You know what I think? I don't think it all stems from social media, but I think it doesn't help. Like, social media, like, for example, when people see a video, and it's like, it's one of those videos you see on TikTok, and it's like, yo, my boyfriend just bought me flowers and did this for me and do this. And the person on the other end is watching that and they're like, man, he hasn't done that for me in a while.
Yeah.
He must not love. And then it builds resentment towards them.
It's also like expectations are so high because they're
my
like,
gosh.
it's like highlight reels like of your life on social media. So like that's kind of, I guess, what I mean from social media. Like you see like my TikTok, for example, is a bunch of girls, women, whatever, and they're posting like what they're doing each day and what vacations they're taking and what their husbands, boyfriends, fiancés are doing for them, and a lot of that is like one day out of the month. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people think it's just like an everyday thing.
Well, I mean, you have an insight on it because we do social media, but like you get somebody that doesn't do social, and they're like the consumer of the content, and that's what they see, and it makes their life seem less valuable and less important and less fun and less spontaneous and less.
Yeah.
And that sticks in your head. But I'm here to tell you, it's like it's a manipulation game where it's like you can't think that way. It's just not how it is, dude. It's all for the views. We know it from firsthand here. Okay, so that's it. That's a big one in my opinion. Like setting these high standards, like social media ruining that. But yeah, I mean, shit, dude. Kayla's hit me with I'm losing feelings in not losing feelings, but she basically broke up with me just after 3 days. So you know what I mean? We did a podcast more recently where we went through some stuff, but like, yeah, dude, it's something that happens, and it's literally, would you agree that like a relationship, when you get into a relationship, at first it feels like the honeymoon, right? It's easy. You don't have to try. Everything's just kind of, you are constantly wanting to hang out, wanting to do things, wanting to spend time, wanting to do cute things for them, wanting to just basically be a servant to them. But I feel like after time, the honeymoon phase slowly wears away. How long would you say the honeymoon phases last?
I mean, probably like all together with you guys probably like hanging out and then like actually dating, it's probably like maybe 3 months, 2 months.
3 months of honeymoon phase?
Yeah. I mean, not that we're not obsessed with each other now, but like we were like psychos when we first started dating.
Yeah, that's how it works though. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Like it wasn't longer than it might have been longer than 3 months. I know it wasn't less than 3 months that we were like constantly with each other and obsessive.
But like once that goes away, bro, people start to try less, and it's just, you know what I mean?
But everybody goes through it. It's not just like,
no, everybody goes through it. But I guess what what we're trying to get at today, what we're trying to talk about is just kind of like how to avoid that. Because you know, most solid relationships have been through it already, and I guess I'm trying to give an insight to people that haven't hit that yet, because it's kind of something you can avoid if you know it's coming. But it's also hard to avoid if you haven't been through it.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, is a lot of people don't make it through it because they go through it once and it ruins them, type thing. So, but yeah, I would honestly look at like a relationship as quite literally a job. Like you are consistently, diligently working on it, trying to better yourself, trying to just be a better person for your significant other, whatever, and kind of just working those things to make a better, couple, I guess, if you will.
I would say that too. It's kind of like a job, but like it shouldn't be a hard job, if that makes any sense. Like it should still be fun and happy and not like a stressful type of thing, you know?
No, it shouldn't feel stressful, no, in any way, shape, or form. But it should feel as if you're trying to keep up on it. Because it's just like, this is a terrible analogy. Please, do not tear me apart for this. But it's like, honestly, like having like a plant. You don't water it, you don't give it sunlight, it's not going to grow. You know what I mean? The water and the sunlight is basically you feeding into your relationship and whatever that might be, dude. Like, I get caught up all the time. I forget, quality time isn't just being next to you or just being in your presence. It's like quality time, I feel like, is more doing things together, maybe for something that no phones, no television. No, it's more communicating. It's more doing an activity together for the first time, or doing an activity that makes you guys work together, whatever it might be. Cooking is a great one for us. That's like our number one thing.
Yeah.
But
And I feel like we just kind of, we've said this before, but we just kind of found that balance of us like doing intimate things together that like better our relationship, you know?
yeah,
Like we've once again said this before, but we went through a time where we were just kind of existing with each other and we were just going on with our lives, not even like thinking about the other person, I would say.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, yes, we were, but
barely.
yeah, we just like, we're just
Would
ourselves.
Would you say that, and this is going to be a very controversial thing I'm about to say, but would you say the job you have and the job your spouse has or your significant other plays a role in how successful the relationship ends up being? Not money. We're not talking about money. We're talking about accessibility. Basically, how often you're able to see each other, how, you know what I mean? What your schedules are like is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like it's always weird to even think about like my parents growing up. Like they both had full-time jobs that they both had to go to, and both of me and my sister were both like very athletic and into a bunch of travel sports. We did school sports, we did travel sports. We literally were always
How do
busy.
you even find time for each other?
They were never together.
Yeah.
I mean, they were like literally split up every weekend at a different kid's sporting event or a different practice every night. Like nobody was home like all together at least until 9 p.m. at night. And
That's
it could be
wild.
like later than that. You know what I mean?
Do you think we would still be together if I didn't do what I did at the time, like social media wise, and I was able to like fly to you and do long distance and kind of even our recent life where, you know, I've been able to stay at home and you've been able to kind of do your thing? And
I feel like that's kind of hard to say because I feel like now that you're my husband, it's hard to like say that we wouldn't be together. But like I feel like your social media career while we were doing long distance, that was the reason why we were together.
I agree. I think that long distance part was like tough. If I wasn't doing long distance and I wasn't able to see you, I don't think that relationship would have like flourished because we weren't near each other.
Yeah, but like would we still be together? I don't know.
I don't know, dude. That's when people ask me for advice about long distance. I'm like, my circumstances are so much different than other people's.
Yeah.
Just because it's I don't know, but
It's not, I feel like it's getting more common to obviously do what we do too, but even after COVID and all of that junk, working from home is like a thing now
oh,
too.
dude, there's so many people I know that work from home. That
So
just,
I would say like if you're in a long distance relationship, that's similar to what we were doing.
yeah,
I mean, does that make sense?
yeah, I get what you're saying.
Job saying like
yeah, if you work,
if
from
you
home.
work from home, you can go visit or vice versa, whatever.
Yeah. I think like the big problem with when I keep saying our generation, I'm not trying to sound like your grandpa saying this generation is flawed. What I'm trying to say is I think it's been a following up thing, dude. In the 80s, people were hooking up with each other. There's still people that are my parents' age, 50, 60, that never settled down, never got a wife, never got a husband, just kind of slept their way through life. They never had that one person, you know what I mean? I feel like most people go through that phase where they try around different people, whatever. But I feel like our generation doesn't even really consider marriage.
Yeah.
So, and obviously, if you're one of those people, you're probably not listening to this. But
Yeah.
finding someone though, when you're trying to find somebody, and that's majority of the mindset nowadays is you don't really want to get married, and you kind of just want to go have fun and just kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind.
I will never understand that though. Like,
But-
why in the heck would you not want to get married?
I don't know.
Like, why? What's the point of like going around and
It's just. But like
having fun?
But that's been like a thing that's slowly increased over the decades, right? It's
Yeah.
just something that slowly gets more popular, and I truly. I mean, how long do you think it'll be until marriage is like? Not very popular.
I wonder what the
like,
statistics are on how
not
many,
popular.
what the difference is of how many people get married nowadays.
Should we look that up real quick? What are
Yeah.
the statistics on?
It looks like your phone's not working.
Oh, my phone's updating. The statistics on people that actually end up getting married in what generation are we? Gen Z?
No, just
oh,
like
we are Gen Z.
Yeah, we are Gen Z. Unfortunately, I count myself as a millennial.
That's completely. Okay, you identify as a millennial, is what you're saying?
No, I don't identify as shit.
But yeah.
What am I looking up?
How many people get married each, like, in our generation? What's the statistic? What percentage of people actually get married? Yeah, dude, it's just something that I feel like. How long do you think until marriage is obsolete?
I don't know. I feel like there's a big chunk of people that are like, I don't want to get married. I don't want to settle down, blah, blah, blah. And then there's a big chunk of people that are different, even like comments on our podcast and Instagram and whatever else we do. They're always like, I want this so bad, blah, blah, blah. Like, so happy for you guys. Like, there's a big chunk of people that are still like that as well.
Yeah.
I'm not answering your question because I don't know the answer to that.
Guess. When do you think marriage isn't going to be popular?
I feel like when kids now are babies, when they grow up, I think it'll be interesting. So, like,
kids now that are babies?
20 years.
30 years?
Yeah. I don't know why I said it like that.
It literally all comes down to, I feel like, parents' beliefs and what they, not necessarily parents too, but like peers and, you know, that type of thing, who they grow up with.
Okay, this thing says,
you gotta move that mic down.
I just can't get comfy over here today. I'm like a weird spot. I need that mic. Okay, this thing says in 2023, according to the study, marriage rate in 1970 was at 76.5%, and today it stands at, what do you think it is?
Wait, so in 1970 it was at 70-some percent?
76%.
76% in the 70s?
Yeah.
So now
What do you think it's
the
at?
marriage right now, I think it's at 45%.
31.
31% of people are married?
Yeah, it says U.S. marriage rate falls nearly 60% over the last 50 years.
That is insane. I think that's a bit like, it's hard to find somebody like that. You know what I mean, though? It's
Yeah.
hard to find somebody to settle down with nowadays.
Do you want to know when the marriage rate is at the highest? And then I'll be done.
1950.
20.
1920.
Is at 92%.
92%.
That's only because there was like 30 people on the planet. And they just all got married to each other.
I want to know where you got your diploma from. Okay, quickly look up the population in 1920. I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think it was just, that was how people were raised back then. Yes, the population's gone up a little bit, but it wasn't that much different.
I can't type.
She said there were only 30 people on the planet. What was the population in 1920?
106 million. Is that right? No, 106. I don't know. I can't read this number.
Are you sure it's just not 1 billion?
No, it's 106, 021, 537.
That's 106 million.
Okay, so I said it right. You looked
Are
at
you
me
sure
like
that's not
I was
United
dumb.
States?
It is the United States. Oh. Life with Kayla.
What is it?
I'm getting there.
Sorry.
2 billion.
2 billion people.
Yeah. Okay. So I was a little bit off there.
Dude, I don't know.
I just think people's morals are different now, which I don't really know why. But they also got married when they were like 17.
That's true. It was just a different, I don't know, dude. That's just so weird. I don't know.
This is very interesting.
The thing with with the people our age, I don't want to say generation anymore because it's driving me crazy, but people our age are just, I feel like once things get hard, not everybody's like this, but once things get a little bit hard and there's a little bit of friction, things aren't working out, they just dip. Like it's over.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to rebuild or fix things, which dude, there's gonna be like a marriage like crisis in a few years.
Or people are just gonna like get married like really old.
You think so? Not
Yeah.
saying you're wrong, but you think so? You think people are just gonna start getting married at like 50?
Yeah. Like, I wonder if it's like their thought process where they're like, oh, I'm going to live my life and then I'm going to get married.
But here's the thing.
Instead of living your life with your partner, which is what you're supposed to do.
Here's the thing. No guy wants to get married to a girl who's gone and slept with half the state.
And
then
vice versa.
I know.
Oh.
And then wants to settle down. Okay, I've had my fun. I'm 45 now. I want to settle down.
I mean, that's not...
All the other guys that she would pick that she wants to get married to are already married. Vice versa. Same with girls, same with guys.
But if they both did that and that's just kind of what they did, then like that's just how they are.
Do you think that's going to be a solid relationship?
I mean, no. But that's also my opinion. People that get married at old ages now, that doesn't mean that they're not supposed to be together.
No.
Typically, it's like a divorce first.
I was going to say
though.
it's a divorcee type situation most cases.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. Very interesting. I don't know why people don't want to get married. Marriage is cool. Marriage is great. We've had a good time. Marriage means babies. Marriage means a home and a house, hopefully, and dogs and a foundation and traditions and holidays and
more kids.
a yard and memories and more children.
Yeah. Grandchildren.
And grandchildren.
And
and great-grandchildren.
So let's recap.
I don't know why that doesn't sound fun.
Let's recap. To stay in love, or maybe keep your partner in love. I don't want to say spice it up, but keep surprising them. Don't keep doing the same stuff over and over.
Hold up. I'm going to pause you for a second.
Okay.
You do 3 things that you think keeps it alive, the spark, and I'll do 3
I'll go
things.
first because you're probably going to take mine.
Why is that fair?
I mean, I would say...
So number 1, go.
I haven't said this before, but I would say like having a friendship with your significant other, like being their best friend and doing things that aren't just labeled as a partner thing. You know what I mean? And just becoming their best friend, talking about anything, being open and having communication is huge, bro. Like if you tell me and you're just
Did you just call me bro?
Yes, sorry. If you tell me you're like, hey, things have been really boring recently. Things have been really kind of on the downslope recently. We've just been really dead, blah, blah, blah. But okay, now I know. Now what is my brain going to do? It's be like, okay, what can we do? What can I do to fix that? You know what I mean? And if you just, not you, people in general need to communicate, because the more you communicate those things, the faster they get fixed, the happier you're going to be. Both people are going to be. Communication.
Okay.
Treating them like a best friend. And I would say making an effort to change things that need to be changed. Like an effort is huge.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I feel like a lot of people.
What were the 3?
A lot of people have been through this.
Yeah.
And they just give up.
Yeah. What were your 3?
Communication, best friend, and action. Like acting on things that need to change.
Yeah. Okay, I would say probably, which I'm still working on, but my first one is probably communication.
You just stole mine.
I'm allowed to have the same one as
Oh.
you. These are my thoughts versus
Alright.
your thoughts. I think communication is the big one, because you should be able to tell your partner and vice versa what's going on so they can make it better. They can't read your mind, which I like to think that Steven can read my mind.
All girls, for some reason, just think that the guys can read their mind, which, dude,
Man, can you imagine if you could just read my mind?
that's not a thing. I don't understand why that's crazy.
That would literally be amazing, I think.
No. Anyway, continue. Communication.
Communication. Being... I can't think of what the word is. Shoot.
Can I add one?
No. When I'm done. I can't think of the freaking word. What's it called? Like,
Open.
present.
Being present.
Being present. In in the relationship, whether you're making dinner, whether you're watching a TV show, whether you're laying in bed. I don't know.
Like writing cute notes or something.
Yeah, just like be present with each other. And the third one is probably intimacy. And no, I don't only mean sex, but sex is one of them.
Oh.
What?
This is a PG podcast.
Okay, we're also a married couple.
Kayla thinks we're married and she can just say whatever she wants on this podcast.
Good Lord. Okay, so like, yeah, having meaningful conversations, like that's kind of communication. But yeah, doing things together that help out your marriage.
I would say being open is another huge one. Being
You're just
open
cutting me off. I'm done talking.
I thought you
It's
had all
fine.
3. Continue. I'm not going to go.
No, it's good.
Okay. Being open, I feel like, is another big one. Like being open to new ideas, new things, new lifestyles, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Traveling, moving to a different place, making new friends, doing different activities.
Just letting everybody know I've done all of those things that you just listed.
Exactly. That's why I'm married to you.
Oh.
Because you did those things. Okay. Here's a question. What do you think is the number one relationship killer?
Number one relationship
Generalizing.
killer.
What kills most relationships?
Not adventuring together. I don't think that's the word I was looking for. My brain is not working.
What do you mean by adventuring?
Not.
You mean like a finger in the butt adventuring?
No.
Oh.
This is a PG podcast.
Okay. What adventuring?
Like taking risks together, doing new things together.
I think taking risks together is a huge thing.
Okay, I'll ask you the same thing. What is the thing that you think just like
Kills relationships?
Yeah.
I think people get distracted. I think distractions. When I say distractions, I mean like things that you start to value more than your significant other. Work could be one. Hobbies could be one. Friends could be one. When you start to put other things over your significant other, I think that kills it. Another big one, and this goes for both sides. I've heard so many stories about this, bro. When you go talk to your friends about your relationship, and then, which isn't a bad thing. You can talk about your relationship to your friends, but what I'm saying is when you talk badly about your spouse or your significant other to a friend, because then that friend slowly, every time they hear something, they are just going to reinforce that the person you're with is a bad person. Oh my goodness, they're such an ass. Oh, I can't believe they did that. Blah 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 blah. And then when it comes down to it, they're gonna be like, break up with them, break up with her, do this, screw her, divorce her. You know what I mean? It's like then it turns into venting, turns into kind of people helping you make a decision or kind of getting in your brain at the end of the day. It could be years after that, but you know what I mean? I think that's another big one too that people don't even realize. I think you should a relationship be kept between your, vital details should be kept between just those two in the relationship.
Yeah. I agree.
No, I think we had a good conversation about it. I think what I like about us having the conversation is that we're kind of giving like the people listening like almost like a cheat code. Like, okay, this is a roadblock that's going to come up in your relationship at some point.
Yeah.
Here's how you can avoid it. Here's how you can stop the buildup, of that resentment wall that you and your partner are building between each other. That's going to create this. That's going to happen. We're trying to give you guys the guide of how to avoid it. Stay present. Don't give up. Don't get lazy in a relationship. It's literally a job that nobody's keeping track of your hours. Okay.
But also, literally, people always say that you have to date your partner, and like that's literally so true.
Yeah.
Like it's the same thing, but like it's like a job.
Take her out.
You have to do things.
But you have to act like you're still trying to win her over each day, or him.
Yeah. Both people.
Same. Yeah. For each, but you gotta act like you're trying to win them over, like you're trying to.
That's literally so cliche, but it's so true.
Fall in love with them each day. Yeah, I agree. It is cliche, but it's so true.
Yeah, people can get really lazy in relationships, and we've both gotten lazy before, but we know when to stop it and when to move forward. So. Just from experience, we are speaking our minds. So
trying to save some relationships out here. When I mean relationship, I mean this is like doesn't end all relationships, but it's a phase that goes. There's steps in a relationship. There's the honeymoon phase. There's the dating for a while phase where you're kind of like, okay, what are we doing? Are we serious? Are we like serious? Then some people get engaged and people get married. Then they've been with each other for 10 years and it's like, okay, how do we keep this spiced up? Literally, just act like it's the same person, but you're trying to win them over each morning. And it's
Yeah.
like,
I mean,
And
I really pay
also-
attention to like a lot of little things too. So,
yeah.
but
well,
I feel like that's different for everybody.
women in general pay attention to little things. And the way to a woman's pants is through her heart.
Whoa. Whoa!
The way to a woman's pants is through her heart. Wake up in the morning, make her some breakfast. I don't care if it's cereal. Pour her a bowl of cereal, whatever. Talk her up. Be nice. Be present. Be loving. Be whatever. And I'm telling you, bro. By the end of the day, she's like, "Oh my gosh, you got to get a mop out." Okay, that's how it works.
I'm not really sure if you ever made me breakfast before. The other parts, sure, but you definitely don't start off with making me breakfast.
I'm overshooting probably what you should do. You wake up before me. I'm not making you breakfast at 5 a.m. Okay.
I don't eat breakfast at 5 a.m. I eat breakfast at like 8.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. But anyways, that's what you should do.
Listen,
Steven
guys.
should take notes.
What
I
I'm trying to
guess.
say is you all will be there at some point. If you get in a relationship, I don't even know if any of you, there's probably 5 of you right now that are watching this be like, Steve, I don't even have a girlfriend. I don't even remember my last girlfriend. I don't even know when I'm going to have a girlfriend again. Then, hey, dude, I'm glad you got ahead of the game. But those of you that are in
At least
a
you'll know.
relationship, dude, avoid the roadblocks. But good luck out there.
We love you.
Listen to your partners. Listen to what they're saying. You know, sometimes they're not going to tell you what's wrong, but you can tell right away. Get on it fast. Fix it. Be present. Be smart. Be alive. Keep the eyes open. And yeah, go get them, Tiger.